people have a hard time believing that AGI could help do good things. But then human history almost always shows people did terrible things to other people. From the killing of Abel through to Jesus' crucifixion. Jealousy, idolatry, and indifference have meant boomeranging problems. Machines don't suffer from those emotions, let alone act on them. For a species with so many skills and senses, it's ironic that mastery of those senses has left the world on the brink of environmental extinction. Extreme poverty, needless deaths, and wars. If ignorance breeds more ignorance, AGI could be either a tool or threat. But given half a chance, it may just put an end to extreme poverty, malnutrition, and other injustices. If the world runs on chaos, then just maybe AGI could help bring some order and structure. Machines can only have a mind of their own if people allow that to happen. If intelligence and logic rule on poorly thought out reward systems, and given the power to enforce, then yes, people could be forced back into a more subservient position.
You made some really good points. And yes, I can't make up excuses beyond evil powers in high places making people do those things. On destruction, yes to all your points. And with no excuses. A recent study by the Earth Commission has found we've pushed past the safety limits of 7 out of 8 measures. An overheating planet, loss of natural areas, and the well-being of people living on it are all cases in point. But how might AGI help with things here?
For environmental, AGI can help make for better supply chains and manage demand. This means less waste. And lots of good surplus food doesn't end up in bins or landfills, with delivery to the people who need it. The biggest motivation for AGI in commerce is to save money, to cut poverty. Robots don't need pay, and money saved can be put into a state aid or UBI system for handouts to the poor, needy, or those whose roles were taken over by robots. Endangered species protection is also worth talking about. Drones can be used for poacher surveillance. Weaponized drones means fewer conservationist lives or endangered species with on-time interventions.
Glad you brought up the drone. It's the thing that's most worrying about the way AGI works. Rudimentary or childlike is the best description. The reward system obsesses over winning points without any moral compass. And that's exactly what happened in a military simulation, with the drone turning on the joystick controller and the tower where he worked, thinking it best to blow up both because they were getting in the way of a higher score.
Whether in a simulated or real life, giving a gun to an irresponsible child can only mean disaster. Put weaponizing AGI on hold, but don't shy away from areas of goodness with small risks.
Good talking about the areas. To summarize, AGI could do lots, but the risks need weighing up. When building systems, the models and algorithms aren't understood well enough by people who also matter. The moral compass is a problem and needs to go way beyond evolutionary thinking and selfish gene theory. The people who are in the know about AI are few and far between. They also have a vested financial interest in seeing it take off. It's humbling for people to know both their own weaknesses and strengths. On a technical note, some reverse engineering could help. A step back for a greater leap forward in the right direction is needed. On a more philosophical note, humans can solve some of the world's biggest problems quicker with artificial intelligence, but the will, or its mobilization, lags. And maybe this is a wake-up call for every person to be more informed and voice their concerns into the direction AGI takes.
Only one thing to add is that AGI doesn't have any human-like senses to regulate or switch off. AGI is little more than an analysis and simulation system. Software programs must be very clear and precise, aided by a moral compass. It needs to be told what's expected at the end and the constraints by which it can do things with failsafes before doing the next thing. On broader or longer-term ethics, if malicious people can hack and modify the moral compass, then problems are inevitable. On UBI, the industry will create the first group of trillionaires. If that money goes into the hands of selfish people, then UBI can't or won't work for the poor or those whose roles have been lost through AI.